not us. Somewhere along the line, I'm not even sure how it happened, but we just inherited this snake. And it's from Tim's side of the family, so blame him. It was his side of the family that somehow it ended up in a snake tank that we had, an old snake tank, and it just kind of grew. It started out kind of cute and kind of small, and now the mammoth thing is like 7.5 foot long. And when you feed it, you have to go buy live varmints to feed it. And so Tim goes up to the pet store and he has to get the jumbo rats. I'm not talking about these little Mickey Mouse things that you see, snacking on here. I'm talking about rats, like as in the size of squirrels.
Oh, God.
And this crazy maniac, every time, thinks it's just the most hilarious thing. So while I'm down in my basement working, because that's where I work from, in my basement, I'm down there typing, he'll come up with this box, and you can hear it in the box, it's just like, oh. I'm just like, oh, I'm about to give you the fivefold ministry, boy. I don't mind the snake, but the rats, can't handle the rats. I don't want to see them. They're not cute. Go feed them to the snake. So a couple weeks ago, our snake tank gets a little cold, and if you know anything about reptiles, their body temperature is the same of their surroundings.
Right.
So in other words, they don't have a temperature within themselves like you and I do, that our temperature keeps our body temperature, as long as we are healthy, it'll keep it at about 98 degrees or so. A snake's temperature will always be whatever the surrounding is. So if it's not warm in there, the temperature of the snake goes down to the temperature of the room. And therefore, when the snake's body gets cold, it does not eat because it goes into like a hibernation type mode. And because it's in that type of a mode, it doesn't need the same type of nutrition and nourishments. Don't ask me how I know this stuff, because it's like a snake. You don't even take care of it. He ended up with it. It's his snake. So anyway, that's Snake 101. In case you ever want to buy a snake, you at least have a little bit of knowledge about it. And so when it goes into this mode, you can put the rat in there, but it will not eat it. And so a couple weeks ago, our room that we lived in was full.
Oh, no.
And so Tim goes and gets this rat, and I'm not joking, it's about the size of a squirrel, puts the rat in there, and the snake is just huddled up because it's trying to keep warm. It's in survival mode.
Right. Come on.
It is in survival mode, and so the rat, the thing that it's supposed to destroy and devour and conquer, is just in there running around.
Oh, that's good. Come on. Come on, that's good.
Oh, it's a new home. At first, when we put the rat in there, you could sense he was a little fearful. He's like, that's a snake. I'm the food. This is not good. You could sense he was fearful. But because the snake was in survival mode,
yes,
he was no longer a threat to the rat.
Come on.
So, I don't know, this is probably like on a Friday that he did this. The following Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that, Tim goes in there just to check on it, and he's like, Ameka, this rat is still alive in there, just rolling in there. Come here. And me and Deontay, we even went in there. We was cracking up. The big rat had made itself a little home in the aspen, the chips that are in there. It had worked its little stuff and created a little nest, and it was all huddled down in there. And we were sitting there watching because we thought it's comical. You have this 7.5 foot snake over here in survival mode, and the food is over here making a little nap. It would go over to the water bowl and it would drink out of the water, and it would do the whole washing its face and its ears. We was cracking up. The next day, Tim's like, Ameka, I'm not going to stick my hand in there and get this rat. What do? I was like, I guess feed it some cheese, because if you let it go, it's going to die and it'll smell up the house. And as we're in there, I said, something is wrong when you're having to feed food to the food in order for the snake to eat the food.
Come on. That's a good point. Come on.
Tim goes, maybe it's too cold in here. So he goes and he gets a heat rock, which is, it's a fake rock that you plug in and heat actually comes out of it. And then he goes and gets a heat lamp, plugs it in, and it's radiating heat at the top. The snake then, because of its temperature, starts rising, and it comes out of survival mode. Within 24 hours, the rat was gone. I tell you that whole story to tell you this. The church for far too long has been in survival mode.
Come on.
And because of that, the things that we are supposed to conquer has made nests in our homes and in our churches. But God says, when you let the fire of the Lord of His Spirit just begin to heat your soul up,